we've got going on here for today, some big concerns in our fire danger forecast. We were just talking about this a minute ago. It's going to be very dry and windy. The good news is it won't be as hot. The red flag warning now extended through Friday afternoon for the Valley, foothills, and the Sierra. And then we do have much colder temperatures moving in for overnight lows, and that is prompting freeze watches on the way for some of you, so you may need to cover some of those plants up. Now, the red flag warning now in effect through Friday at 5 p.m. for the Valley. Sustained winds up to 25 miles an hour. Gusts for valley areas up to around 40 miles an hour. Gusts in the foothills and canyons mostly in that 45 mile an hour range, but favorable canyons like the Feather River, Jarbo Gap areas could be looking at gusts tomorrow morning up to 60 miles an hour out of the northeast. Meanwhile, Trinity County was a fire weather watch. Now that's been upgraded just before 5 a.m. to a red flag warning from tomorrow morning through Friday morning. So very high fire danger through Friday due to the dry and windy conditions. Now, Julia, this is what I was just talking about. The freeze watch going into effect at 2 a.m. overnight tonight and through 9 a.m. tomorrow morning for Trinity County. That same time frame, but a day later in Lassen and Plumas County areas. So keep this in mind. Temperatures below 32 degrees looking very much likely. Some areas might even dip into the teens. Now, as far as temperatures go this morning, it's pretty warm out there for most of us in the valley. 73 degrees right now in Redding, 72 in Red Bluff. A little cooler where winds have been lighter in Chico and Orrville, high 50s there. 50s to 60s in the foothills, 30s to 40s in most mountain areas. And winds are out of the north, only up to around 12 miles an hour in the valley right now. Gusts have been less than 20 miles an hour overnight there. In those foothill and canyon areas, we've seen gusts in that 30 to 40 mile an hour range still this morning. That's not too bad, but then you take a look at those winds picking up this afternoon, mostly up to around 30 miles an hour for those gusts today. Tomorrow, those gusts get up to around 40 miles an hour, and tomorrow morning, especially in those canyons, could be seeing those 50 to 60 mile an hour gusts. So we're going to be watching that very closely. Satellite and radar showing you clear skies overhead right now. What we've got going on, high pressure off the coast, low pressure tracking through to our north. This is flattening that ridge a little bit. It's leaving us to that cooling trend on the way. But as this moves off to our east, that's going to tighten up those pressure gradients. That's why winds are getting stronger as we head into your Thursday forecast. And then as we head towards your weekend, we're seeing more influence from those low pressure areas. High pressure moving a little further off to the west. And then we do see cooler temperatures on the way. Showers, models really backing off on that. So it doesn't look likely we'll see any wet weather on the way. For today, mostly sunny with mostly 70s to low 80s in the northern mountains. If you're in the Sierra today, it's mostly 70s for your Wednesday afternoon. Foothill areas expected to see mid 70s to low 80s later on. And if you're in the valley today, it's upper 80s to lower 90s, so a little bit cooler than yesterday, but still above average. Wind out of the north in the 15 to 20 mile an hour range this afternoon, and mid 80s to low 90s expected in the mid-valley as well. Now, Julia, that cooling trend continues in your Storm Tracker 7-day forecast, where your weekend's always in view. Very windy on Thursday with low 80s in Chico. Not as windy with low 80s on Friday, and then much cooler this weekend. Low to mid 70s and not that windy on Saturday. Winds starting to pick back up with 60s on Sunday, then low to mid 70s early next week with gusty north winds. Redding breezy today and then very windy tomorrow with mid to high 70s. Back to the low 80s and not as windy on Friday. Then mid 70s Saturday, mid 60s on Sunday. Saturday not that windy. Winds picking up late in the day on Sunday and continuing through at least early Monday. And then we do see temperatures back in those mid to high 70s towards the middle of next week. But how about some 60s on the way for your high temperatures with overnight lows in the 40s for the valley? Break out those jackets. Looks like you're going to be needing them in your extended forecast.
All right.